Hey friends, it is your creative, weird, odd makeup artist friend Cat Sketch to bring you another makeup look today. It's gonna be holiday themed. So subscribe for more videos like this. We talk about creepy stories, interesting tales while doing our makeup and painting our face. Into character makeups, body paintings, effects, video makeups, beauty makeups, and everything in between. So subscribe for some more. Now, I have done the Sugar Plum Fairy makeup look before, but it was just based off of the movie, and I want to do my own version where she has wings, and I feel like lavender hair is more Sugar Plum Fairy vibes than the pink hair that I've seen in movies. So let's do that today. I have my favorite wig of all time that I'm going to put on my head, and you've seen it many times on this channel, and play with some makeup while talking about creepy stories during Christmas time that have really happened to people apparently. So let's get started. These stories are unlike the Charles Dickens classic Christmas tales that you grew up hearing, reading, and seeing on your televisions. They are actually truly haunting, and supposedly they've happened to people in real life. Instead of ghosts of Christmas past and present and what's yet to come, what if real ghosts come and visit you? What if creatures other than St. Nicholas and reindeer go bump in the night? I mean, Elf on the Shelf in itself is terrifying enough in my opinion, and we've done that video before and it came out awesome. I've already prepped my face and skin, and I need to correct them under eyes because I feel like Sugar Plum Fairies are so beautiful and gorgeous and they don't have baggy, saggy, dark circled under eyes like I do. Just look at the difference from this, and this. Just that difference of this corrector. It's by Charlotte Tilbury. It's amazing. Using the UOMA Beauty foundation today because I haven't used it in a while and it's amazing. I don't know why I haven't used it in a while. But this first story comes from Bloomington, Indiana in 2008, and this person swears that it wasn't Santa Claus that came to visit them that day during Christmas. That they got a different kind of visitor. Someone else. Like, look at how beautiful this foundation is. I just can't get over it. Their day started with a typical fashion of opening gifts under the Christmas tree. They served an early Christmas dinner for their family and friends, and everybody had departed around 5 p.m. except their sister and the brother-in-law because they lived with them. And the sister and brother-in-law were sleeping in a bedroom at the end of their hallway with the door completely open. So this person went into their own bedroom with their cute dog Toby to take a nap, and they shut the door securely behind them while they were right before they were napping. And as they were dozing off, they heard a latch on their bedroom door just come undone and open. At this point, they waited several seconds for their sister or brother-in-law to ask them whatever they had come to ask them, because obviously it must have been them coming over to her room to talk to her and speak to her. But there was absolutely no sound, and it was almost pitch black at 7 p.m. They had left the lights on in the kitchen and the bathroom, and there was a lot of Christmas lights on throughout the house still. But their bedroom, of course, was pitch black. So the hallway from the bedroom would have been completely lit up for them to be able to see whatever was there. But there was nothing there. Whoever was there to open her door, there was nobody there. So she just lifted her head to look above her blanket and pillows to see who was there. And just as she looked in the doorway to see whoever was there, an extremely bright light had beamed from the doorway straight into her eyes. She yelled and covered her eyes and yelled, "Turn that light off! You're blinding me!" And the light immediately disappeared. And they heard the bedroom latch door close back up. I'm using my Colourdrained eyeshadows today. This bright pink is just calling my name for the Sugar Plum Fairy. But back to the story, this person's bedside lamp is a touch lamp, so they touched the lamp to turn the light on to see what could have been there to illuminate the room. But there was no one in the room except her and Toby, her beloved dog. Now I'm just getting like a lavender color. This isn't the color Cute. Her dog Toby jumped off the bed, went into the doorway with no signs of alarm or being scared or anything. And at first this person wasn't frightened because her dog happened to be a Dutch Shepherd to Mr. Toby, who's a very great guard dog, and warns her in anything. So since her dog Toby was already upright, she decided to let him go out of the room outside to see what her sister and brother-in-law needed. But of course she could still see her sister and brother-in-law asleep in their own bed. She took Toby to the living room to take him eventually outside, and there was no one there either. I'm just taking this light blue color, Cold Shoulder, from Shroud Cosmetics. So this person was confused. Who opened their bedroom door and put a spotlight to their face? They did not know, since the sister and brother-in-law were definitely asleep that whole time. And it's not like they would do that, be able to get to their room in time that quickly and fake being asleep the whole time. I'm assuming they're grown adults. And like most people, the thoughts of loved ones come during the holiday seasons, spending time with family and friends. And when this person first went to lie down for their nap in their bedroom, they thought of how lucky they are to still have a small group of family and friends to spend the holiday seasons with, to have a little pleasant Christmas, but they really missed their mother and brother who could not be there with them that day, if they had still been alive with them today, because they had passed. This person likes to think that it was their brother's spirit who had passed on, visiting them for Christmas, wishing them a very Merry Christmas, which I think is so sweet. And that their brother was still thinking of them on the other side. Which to me makes sense, not only because they were thinking of their loved ones, but because the form of the spirit or entity came to them in a very bright light. And when they say people pass, they always say that they go to the light, and that when they see ghosts, sometimes there's just a very bright light, a lot of people say. This person hasn't been able to debunk this strange event or find any rational reason as to what happened to them, why it occurred, this mysterious bright light. They're half afraid that their heart stopped during their sleep and it was their dead relatives visiting them, and that they may have been experiencing a near-death experience. I didn't even think of that, which is so creepy and interesting and a great theory, in my opinion. Ooh, I forgot about this palette. This is by Juvia's Place. I want this pink like on my nose and as contour. But this person said lead it to them to find the stairway to heaven, just to complain about how bright it is and about the white light. This next story was based around Christmas in 1995 or 1996, but it was at a reservation at their aunt's house in North Dakota. So most of the family was in the living room watching television, and the kids were around in different rooms either playing or sleeping. And this person's uncle and aunt were sitting at a table doing a puzzle together. How sweet. It's just so genuine and cute. I'm using this Hello Halo highlighter. These are amazing and they're so affordable at the drugstore. They're new from Wet n Wild. And it's just so bomb. Like, look at that highlight. I'm doing some on my nose. I don't usually do highlight on my nose that much anymore, but I just feel like it gives it some charm for this look. Like, look at how blinding. But this person had a cousin in the story that worked at a casino, and they would come home from work around 1 in the morning. The casino cousin was a female, and as she pulled up to the house, she looked in the window and saw this person standing at a table. Sitting at a table, and across from them was their uncle. And not only did she see that standing from her, across from her was the uncle, they saw one person in the corner and another person near the table. But when she got into the house from her casino job, she's like, who was that standing in the corner? And this person was so confused, and they were like, no one was standing there. And like, no, there was someone standing next to you and it looked like your mom, playing with her long hair at that. And the creepy thing was, when she was a child, her mother would play with her long hair like that in a lovingly manner. And this person was totally freaked out because she was 12 or 13 at the time when her cousin saw this happen, of like her mom touching her hair that wasn't there in a loving manner, because she apparently, I guess, if she's that freaked out, believed the cousin. But the mother was lovingly watching over this girl who's 12 or 13, like petting her hair as she was looking at her aunt and uncle with the puzzle. And the creepiest part was that this girl's mother had passed away in a week before Christmas back in 1992. How freaky is that? I believe it, but I believe in ghosts. You guys know this. That's why I like to talk about these creepy stories of ghosts. Because I believe in them. I think ghosts are real. And another great thing about this story was that this girl whose ghostly mother was petting her hair, her aunt and uncle, since her mom passed away, she considered the aunt and uncle like her parents, like her new parental figures, because they've been there for her. So they think it could have been her, but they couldn't absolutely positively tell you who was standing in that corner around Christmas time. So creepy, but interesting. This is one of my new favorite lip glosses. This is NYX's lip gloss in the color That's Fire. It's their holiday collection that's new, and it's so sparkly, pretty. It's not sticky. Oh, I love it. They also have a deeper one in this berry color called Left on Read, and it is gorgeous too. So I want to add some like stones to my face, but I feel like if I don't curl my lashes and put some mascara on first, this is gonna get in the way. Like the stones will get in the way of this. So this next story happened in a house that was 90 years old in their parents' home, which was really small. It was in 1996. This person at the time was 7 years old. I just realized the whole time I've been sitting here, I have not told you guys that I am wearing clothes, even though it looks like I'm not. But since the first time this person moved into this home with their parents, they felt like they weren't alone in this house. One day they were having a sleepover with their friends at the house, and it was around Christmas time and the heat had just shut off briefly. Gosh, I love this mascara. This is the Kush by Milk. I'm usually a drugstore mascara kind of gal, but this one might be turning me. So they were sitting in the living room watching television when the heat dropped and the temperature just substantially dropped and got really cold. As they rose to turn up the heat and change the thermostat, their Christmas tree began to shake violently. I do not play those games. That's a no for me. The only problem with this mascara is the wand is gigantic. I feel like I'm about to stab my eyeballs out of my sockets of my skull. Ornaments were falling off this tree left and right. She got so scared that she ran upstairs to her own bedroom. They laid on her bed and her cat curled up next to her to lay next to her in her bed. How sweet. She had an adorable white cat, but when she gazed out into the dark, pitch black, dark hallway, she saw a tall, white, horrifying figure. And the tall, white figure all of a sudden bolted and ran down the hall. Since she had friends over for a sleepover, she turned to her friend and looked at her friend to confirm that her friend had seen it too, and her friend did confirm that she saw it too. How terrifying. I just realized this Kush mascara made my lashes pin straight. That's why I didn't like the first one, but I thought this one would be different because it's hydrofuge, meaning it's waterproof. I'm so sad because everyone raves about this mascara and it just does not work for me. But this next person was pretty close to their mom. Their mother passed away in 1964 when they were 17 years old. Yes, Lash. And they left their home that year to move to Ontario from Nova Scotia, Canada, I'm guessing. In 1969, they met with a girl who they called Karen. They don't want to, I'm guessing, give the name, what a name to give them, but they got married in March of 1970. I'm just adding more lines of lashes here since I ran out of individual lashes to make the lash line look thicker. I just put in the lashes Cassie by Dollarlashclub. And in December of 1971, they were expecting their first child, putting little gemstones on. They were living in a small 1.5 room bungalow at the time. They had a fireplace in their living room at the time that their wife absolutely loved, and they had it lit every night when it was cold. And on Christmas Eve of 1971, they had the fireplace on, all the presents were under the tree. I am painting sugar plums onto my chest. The fire was giving off a beautiful glow, and a string of lights previously had usually gives off a flash or a flicker of light, right? And for days now, it hadn't been doing that. It was 5 minutes to midnight when the fireplace suddenly just went out. Him and his wife were on the floor and it all of a sudden got really chilly. They looked over to their lazy boy chair, the recliner, and there was a human figure sitting in their lazy boy chair. And it was their mother with a big, beautiful smile on her face. And this person's wife, who had never met their mother, said she saw the same exact thing as well. The ghost never spoke to them, but just kept looking at them. At midnight, the fireplace went back on, the lights on the tree started flashing again, and they looked over to the recliner, and the ghost of the person's mother was absolutely gone. They tried to replicate the flashing of the lights, check the electricals and like the system of the lights to see if they could replicate that flashing of them, and they never could do it. This next story was on Christmas Eve in 1978 at around 3 a.m. in Klamath Falls, Oregon. This person suddenly woke up to the sound of choir singing, but they lived miles and miles from any kind of church, and their house was under new construction. They strained to hear any words to understand what type of tune or lyrics that the choir was singing that they heard. It definitely sounded angelic, but they couldn't literally make out any of the words, what they were saying. It was truly like their voices were lifted to the highest tones without any instruments at that. They examined the television, it was turned off. They examined the radio in the home, it was also turned off. And when they went to explore outside the home, they couldn't even hear the singing at all, just in the house. And the tones were like of children's voices, but they would go from like the highest highs to the deepest basses. I'm just putting some sparkle to these sugar plums, and I'm gonna shade in some detail and everything. I'm gonna finish doing this outfit of the sugar plums, and I'll be back with the outfit done in a wig. And just like that, we have turned into our version of the Sugar Plum Fairy while talking about very creepy and haunting Christmas stories. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. All the products I used in this video and look will be listed down below in the description box. Also, extreme thanks to pinkyparadise.com. They have the best contact lenses for looks like this. I just feel like the Sugar Plum Fairy would look somewhat like this instead of the one that they used in the most recent Nutcracker with Keira Knightley. I wish I could design an actual character for the movies. We all can dream, can't we? Leave a comment down below on what other ideas you would love to see me transform into for this holiday season. If I love your idea, I'll definitely pick your comment and shout it out in an upcoming video of some Christmas makeup looks. You guys are so creative and awesome. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. I do 2 videos a week here on this channel every Monday and Friday. Now it's time for me to go grant some wishes and fly off into another fairy tale realm. See you later, guys. Bye.